Ready?
We are filming.
Hi guys, I'm Bethany with Environmental Harmony, and today my wonderful stepmother, Rebecca, has agreed to show us around her chicken coop. They just built this last year during the COVID lockdown times.
So, my husband and stepson, her brother, really wanted to build this. We all wanted to build this chicken coop, so they kind of just obtained all the lumber, and I supervised. This is the front portion. The other half over here is just a garden shed that we use for just garden tools and shovels, rakes, that sort of thing. And I'll take you over to the nesting boxes. I have there are 3 nesting boxes here, in which I keep a fake egg in each one. I put a little X on it with a Sharpie so I know that it's fake.
They're porcelain eggs, right?
Porcelain eggs.
Cool.
And there's a real one.
Nice.
There's a real one in here. But I always keep a fake one in there just so that they keep laying in these boxes.
And over here, are these just windows so you can peek in and see what they're doing?
Yeah, these windows, these actually provide a lot of aeration for the coop and keeps it, lets sun in, and they like to sit on those bars sometimes and sun themselves, but it keeps it aired out, mainly is the reason for that. And then I've got another sliding window up here that I opened for some additional airflow. And then here are the girls. They're very happy today.
Oh man. How many do you have?
We have 10. We have 5 Jersey Giants. We have 3 ISAs, and we have 2 Brahmas.
The white ones are the ISAs.
The white ones are the Brahma chickens. They have furry feet.
They're so cool. The Jersey Giants are the
black ones. And that's Cricket. She's our big egg layer. She lays lots of double yolks.
Interesting.
The queen of the double yolks is what we call her.
Queen Cricket. Is that where your Cricket Creek Farms comes from?
That's right.
Yeah, so you have 10 chickens, and I know that you are getting like 11, 12, 13 eggs a day.
We're getting an average of 11, 12 eggs a day.
That's crazy. I've never heard about that before.
They're supreme egg layers.
Cool.
So if you want to come inside, I'll show you the hen house. A little better look here. And we have there water and food, and then we have an oyster shell container that they kind of peck at. And then here is their coop.
Nice.
It's a little bit dirty right now, but we have hemp as their bedding for now. I think we're going to transition back to straw in the summer.
Why is that?
The hemp I like the hemp a lot. It's a little bit expensive, and it's a little bit dusty. And our chickens in particular, it took them a long time to transition to it. That one's fine in it, but they're a little bit scared of it for some reason. I have no idea why, but it took them a long time to even hop down from the bars because they're so terrified of it. They really just like straw.
So you made this cool little, what is this for?
So when we started out, we had their food inside the coop to get them used to it, and so I hang all of their feeders and their water from these little ropes from the ceiling, just to keep their food clean and keep their water clean. And then I've got a little security camera inside of their coop there in the corner.
I love that. So brilliant.
So that we can keep an eye on what's going on, if anybody's sick or...
And you can like just look on your phone.
Yep, we have an app. It's a Ring app, and we're able to check on them night and day if anything's going on.
Do they have a light in there?
Yeah, there's a light. Yeah, we can see them at night. We can turn the light on whenever we want.
Nice.
It's pretty great.
Can you show us how this little door works?
Oh yeah.
You built that.
So
and that's really cool.
I built this door because we were trying to get them used to the coop, trying to get them to stay in there during the night. And so I made a little door that it's got a rope and a pulley system up through here and I'm able to lower this door whenever I need to, and it goes up through the ceiling into the garden shed. So you can really kind of see it. I can activate it from the next room.
Cool.
And then this is the garden shed portion of the chicken coop over here. There's a giant sliding door here, and this is where we keep all the extra food and their extra straw, and we have this oyster shell. This is the oyster shells that we use. We get them from Rural King, and then it's the Neutrina brand. They tend to really like that. They pick at that a lot. And then their food, we just use an organic pellet from Rural King. I actually can't recall the brand, but they're the only organic pellets that they sell. So they get pellets, and then they get every morning we feed them our food scraps, which is all organic. We don't feed them anything that's not organic. The only thing that I try not to feed them is eggshells, because I don't want them to ever eat their own eggs. Basically, I mean, anything. They love onions, they love carrots, they love lettuce, grapes. I always buy them organic grapes. That's like a really nice treat for them. They go crazy over those.
Really?
And then I get them mealworms as well, dried mealworms. So.
Did you want to just keep everything organic, because obviously you guys care a lot about food quality?
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to have organic eggs?
Mm-hmm. Completely organic eggs. We sell to a couple of our neighbors, and we want to be able to say that they are all organic.
Mm-hmm. And people have different opinions on the onions. Onions I know are really great for chickens, but some people say that it makes their eggs taste savory.
Interesting.
I don't think it's a problem. I like savory eggs, but I guess if you were using them a lot in baking, it might be kind of funky.
It might be. I've never experienced that. I feel like all their eggs are fairly savory, and that could be because of how many scraps that we feed them, but I feel like they're delicious no matter what we feed them. So
I think the fact that they get so many table scraps is probably part of why they're laying so much.
that could be. Yeah, they're good layers.
Can we talk about the security features of your coop a little bit?
For sure. So we have underneath here, we have this, it's like the same material that we used on their windows on the outside. Kind of hard to see right now because we planted grass seed, but this is all wire under here so that nothing can dig underneath their coop to get them. And then we put dirt on top of that and grass seed on top of that, so there's nothing that can dig underneath to get them.
And then everything is
And then this is all, we used a high-powered, I think it was a air compressor, like a staple gun, to secure that.
And then you're just using carabiners on any
And
of the
then
openings?
I use carabiners on everything just because we have a lot of raccoons out here. And you just never know. You can't be too safe with these guys because you hear from everyone who has chickens that they have gotten eaten by this or that, and I just feel like you just can't be too safe when it comes to them.
Well, Cricket's not just any chicken. Cricket is a special chicken. The most special of all the birds. What's her breed again? I guess. Yeah, totally. Hi, Ernie. Hi, Tootie. Tootie, you're gonna be famous.
Come on now, Cricket. You're being coy. Stop being coy.
This one's very friendly.
That's probably the one that lives in the bathroom.
Aww. Look at that.
It's the Crick.
Turn around, Cricket.
Come on, Crick.
Turn around, Cricket. Well, hi. Good girl. You've been loved more than all the other chickens from the moment Rebecca met you. Chicken favoritism in action.
You did it, Crick. All right, kid. Come on now.
She is a good girl.
So an important thing that I like to do whenever it's time to clean out the coop, which is getting very close right now, is to always wear goggles and always wear a respirator, because I worked in ophthalmology and we would see people with ocular histoplasmosis, and that is it's a fungus, I believe, from the chicken poop and the debris, and it can cause blindness. It almost certainly causes blindness if you should get it into your eyes. So I always make sure to always wear protective wear to protect your lungs. And yeah, it's really
That's
important.
so interesting. I had never heard that before. And you said you saw multiple cases of
Yeah,
that while you were
I've
working in the optometry office.
And the doctors would always ask the patients, like, did you work with chickens? And sure enough, they were chicken raisers. So always use protective gear. Very important.
So good to know.
The goggles. I always make sure to wear these whenever I'm cleaning the coop. No histoplasmosis for me.
I would love for you to show us your garden as well, if you don't mind.
Ah, for sure. We have lots of raised beds over here, and it is early April here in Indiana, so just about a week ago, late March, we planted carrots, beets, and various greens here. And my husband made these cold frames, so we're able to, even when it frosts, we're able to put these down, and they serve sort of as a sort of greenhouse effect, and they keep everything warm and happy in here. And so those, after the danger of the last frost, which should be here in a couple of weeks, we'll leave these panels up. Deer don't particularly have too much interest, as far as I know, in beets. The greens, we'll have to put these down at night. And then over here we have onions, and then we also have garlic in this little bed, and then the far bed we have potatoes, and then over here is all of our compost. So we put all of the eggshells in there, foods that we don't want the chickens to eat. We always keep those in the compost beds as well.
So besides the eggshells, because you don't want the chickens to start eating their own eggs, are there any other foods that you specifically don't like them to eat?
I don't know if this is a thing, but I usually try to keep like the grape vines. Like when I feed them grapes, I keep the stems and the vines of everything. I always throw them in there just to be safe, because I've read somewhere that grape and tomato vines, like the vines, are not supposed to be good for them. So
Interesting.
any of the vines I keep in the compost as well.
Nice. Yeah. And you guys got a ton of food out of this garden last year. I remember hearing that it was super productive.
It was great. We planted way too many tomatoes, as usual, but this year I'm growing lots of cherry tomatoes for the chickens. They really, really love cherry tomatoes. Right now we have sugar snap peas in here, and then later we'll plant more greens, kale, spinach, that sort of thing.
Nice. Awesome.
We're excited.
So on the outside you're planting really deer resistant crops because you have a ton of deer in your valley.
For sure.
And then on the inside you're the crops that the deer would want to eat.
Exactly.
And protected. And if we look around at the front here, I thought this was a really cool design feature. Because the bed is so raised, you don't have to worry about rabbits, right?
Exactly.
So you can have the space underneath the front gate, and then this will keep the deer out.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is great.
Thanks.
So creative. And then over here is going to be a tobacco bed this year.
Yeah. Use tobacco bed.
Nice.
See how it goes.
Awesome. Thanks, Rebecca.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
Sometime in May, somewhere in California, we'll carve a way on into the old Sequoia.